Hey folks, I'm Ed St. Jean.
And I'm Brittany Cowden.
And our company is Pro Benefits Plus. The problem with health insurance and employee benefits today is we often use terminology that can really just cause some confusion. We're going to discuss some of these important terms and provide examples for you here briefly today.
That's right. And the goal in this short Benefits 101 is to give you the knowledge that you need so you can better understand the benefits available to you.
First, let's start off by talking through a typical benefit summary and review these terms together. It makes sense to start out talking about networks, which is referring to the group of providers that accept the plan's coverage.
Most carriers have regional and national network options available. Regional networks can be a specific state or a small grouping of states. National plans offer national coverage. Carriers also offer plans that are either in-network only or include coverage in and out of network. With an in-network only plan, you can only see the providers who participate in the health plan. Plans that offer in and out of network coverage are typically more expensive, but give you the option of seeing providers that do not participate in the health plan.
When you enroll in a plan with out-of-network benefits, you have to be aware of the additional out-of-pocket costs when you make this decision. Typically, out-of-network benefits have higher deductibles when you go out-of-network. With the density of providers in the major networks, there is really little reason to go outside of their network. Our advice is to simply get the most out of your plan by staying in network with a well-qualified physician. Next is your primary care physician, or PCP for short. This is the person you establish a relationship with to help manage your care. This person should understand broad areas of medicine and help guide you through healthcare decisions.
A PCP is important to have for a number of reasons. A PCP knows your health. Your PCP will have an understanding of your medical history, your family medical history, and personal habits, and they can tailor solutions that are specific to your health.
That's right. If you don't currently have a great primary care doctor, it's a great idea to read some reviews. Talk to friends and family about who they see and why. From there, meet with the provider and know that you're in the driver's seat and they are working for you as their client or patient. If you ever feel like you don't have the perfect fit, take action and then look around. Evaluate further and make sure you choose the right provider who takes the time to understand you, and you will feel that they're going to be an asset in better managing your health.
You can see provider reviews oftentimes on your health carrier's member portal and on websites like healthgrades.com and ZocDoc.com, which can all be helpful in making the decision that's best for you.
Preventative screenings are healthcare services that you should be scheduling in conjunction with your PCP or primary care physician in a timely manner. When scheduled properly, these services are covered 100% on all health plans, which includes your annual physical with your primary care doctor, women's mammograms and annual OB exam, preventative colorectal health screenings, well child care, as well as immunizations.
When scheduling these services, it's important to schedule them as preventative care. If it is due to a symptom, they will be billed as a regular medical claim, and your cost sharing, whether a deductible or copayment, will apply. It is critical to your overall health and the health of your loved ones to make sure you're taking the time to engage in the conversation with your primary care doctor. Discuss family history, your health, and your strategy to live a healthier and more fulfilled life.
A lot of people put these important visits off, but they really can save your life in the long run by discovering illness or other health problems early on. It's a great time at the start of a new plan year to take the right steps in being more proactive in your health care.
Some HMO plans require a referral from your primary care provider to see a specialist. A referral may be needed for ongoing needs like counseling, physical therapy, or chiropractic, where you would have a series of visits. In these instances, your primary care doctor may give you a standing referral that covers multiple visits.
Now let's talk about deductibles. Your deductible is your financial responsibility. It's the amount that you pay for certain health care expenses prior to the benefit plan paying for a specific claim. As deductibles reduce, premiums tend to increase. And then as deductibles increase, premiums will generally reduce. It is important when selecting your health plan that you consider known conditions, prescription needs, as well as unexpected risk. The hope is that you can find the right balance between premium cost and deductible responsibility. Plans have different deductible amounts if you are an individual enrolled in the plan or if you have dependents on your plan with you.
It's important to know what type of deductible you have. Some family deductibles require that the full family deductible amount is met before any benefits can be paid. Other family deductibles are embedded, meaning no one family member can exceed the individual deductible shown. Insurance carriers occasionally use different terms to define this. We are careful in the enrollment meeting on demand to point out when this applies.
So let's talk about comparing plans and costs. When your employer offers more than one plan, it's a great idea to subtract the cost of each, lower plans from higher. Once you've done this, you then should take that per paycheck cost difference and multiply it out by the total number of pay periods in your plan year. This will give you the total annual premium difference between plans. Once you have this number, you should then evaluate the differences in cost to the differences in deductibles, prescription benefits, and plan designs. The idea here is to select the plan that best suits your needs and your budget.
If you have any questions or run into any trouble while making these decisions, please give us a call or send our service team an email. We want you to have the plan that's right for you, and we are happy to help. Copayments are a fixed dollar amount you pay for covered healthcare services. Sometimes copayments are not available until after you've met your annual deductible. The copayment amount varies depending on the type of service. You will most often see copayments with primary care visits and prescriptions. There are also separate copay amounts for urgent care and other covered services. Be sure to check the details of your specific health plan.
Coinsurance is a percentage-based cost sharing for specific services between you, the member, and the insurer. You'll typically see coinsurance when reviewing medical and dental-related benefit summaries. You generally pay coinsurance plus any deductibles you owe. When we discuss coinsurance percentage, we'll reference a benefit summary as shown here. The percentages shown is the total that will be paid by you, and the remaining percentage of the claim is what the plan will pay. In this example, we're showing a medical plan with 80% coinsurance for the highlighted services. The plan will pay 80% and you will pay 20% after your deductible towards your out-of-pocket maximum.
The out-of-pocket maximum is the most you could pay for covered services during a plan year. After you spend this amount on deductibles, copayments, and coinsurance, your health plan pays 100% of the costs of covered benefits. This limit never includes your premium, balance bill charges, or healthcare services not covered by your plan.
So now we should talk a little bit about freestanding or ASC. These terms are often used. Some health plans have reduced cost sharing for freestanding surgical centers, sometimes labeled as FS for freestanding or ASC for ambulatory surgical centers. Oftentimes, these are great choices for common outpatient surgical procedures. They typically have a very high success rate due to the volume of procedures that they're doing in a similar scope. They also tend to have lower risks of infection than outpatient surgical procedures performed in a hospital setting. If you end up selecting a plan that offers access to more affordable care through one of these facilities, it's a really great idea to simply engage in the conversation with the referring physician, the surgical provider, and then confirm they agree it's the right option for your care.
Understanding your prescription drug coverage is essential. A drug formulary is a list of prescription drugs, both generic and brand name, that are preferred by your health plan. The purpose of the formulary is to steer you to the least costly medications that are sufficiently effective for treating your health condition. Drugs on a formulary are usually grouped into tiers or levels, and your copayment or coinsurance is determined by the tier that applies to your medication. It's always important to discuss your options available and your plan details with your prescribing doctor.
Your health insurance plan may require prior authorization for certain services or prescription drugs before they will agree to cover the cost. This is verification from your health insurer that the service, procedure, prescription drug, or durable medical equipment is considered medically necessary.
In other words, this is the approval a physician must receive from an insurance provider before prescribing certain medications or treatments. When this occurs, simply engage the referring physician and make them aware of the need. They're familiar with this process and will advise you along the way.
When talking about prescriptions, it can be a touchy subject. Medication costs can be very high at times, and we can all agree that there is need for reform. It's important that you understand pharmacies often charge different costs for the same prescription medications. Most health plans have cost comparison tools, and all of them have mail order prescriptions where they can deliver maintenance medications directly to your door. It's important that you are an informed consumer. Talk with your prescribing doctor and pharmacist. Compare costs and drugs wisely.
Let's discuss the different routes of care available to us when we have an illness or injury, where we can be seen in the most timely manner and get the most appropriate care for the health issue we are facing. That can be a tricky question, especially under duress. Your primary care provider likely knows you and your medical history best, but may not be able to handle severe problems that may require more advanced care. Your primary care provider is generally someone you should see for regular checkups, ongoing medical needs, and the management of chronic conditions.
Virtual care is a great tool that is typically app-based, offers access to a doctor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you can consult with a physician on your time. It helps avoid more costly visits to a primary care doctor or an urgent care clinic with greater out-of-pocket expenses. It helps protect your sick leave, where you can save it for more major needs or potentially bank that time for additional paid time off. Virtual care is growing in popularity for these key reasons. They can often diagnose, prescribe, and help direct you to the most appropriate route of care with ease.
An urgent care center is good for occasional and non-emergency conditions. You should go here if it's after hours or the weekend and your primary care office is closed. An urgent care center is an intermediary between your primary care physician and the emergency room. Examples of specific problems an urgent care center is well suited for would be minor sprains, stings, strains, coughs and colds, and minor wound care.
An emergency room visit is absolutely your most expensive route of care, and it's really meant for true medical emergencies that would require hospitalization or potentially a surgical procedure. The most common causes for a visit to the emergency room are things like chest pain, severe abdominal pain, major trauma, motor vehicle accidents, or uncontrolled bleeding. Anytime you're in a medical emergency, you should first dial 911 and then get to your closest emergency room right away. So that does it for our Benefits 101. We're really glad that you took the time to better understand some of the common terms used related to your benefits program.
If you've run into any questions or concerns along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach us by phone or email, and we are always happy to help.